Live on KOTG. I tell you, that's an early one. We'll warm up the land. What a show we got packed today. Oh, Baraja. Father Biggs, you can pull up that one here for me. Voice of the one, Richie Spice. Movement. Big up to everybody locked in. Early one. Big up to all the early people them checking. It's Lovebridge Movement. KOTG Radio. The Natural Street Show. We are live. We're live on TikTok. We're gonna be live on YouTube after 8 o'clock. We're live on Mixcloud. We're live on Twitch. You can't miss us. We're in the middle. Tell them. We got the studio crew. We're vibing.
I don't want you to worry. You know I never want you to fret. But there is so much going on. Cause I am critical. And all of them say most sleeping sound. Trying to run things slow.
Lovebridge Movements in the building. Scam alongside Father Biggs. One more week pon them.
Yeah, you know.
Tell them about the bridge. Hold barrage up. Well I know. How we sounding out there, London? I'll tell them, man, it's a global show. This show goes around the world. We're live on TikTok, live on Twitch, live on Mixcloud. Voice of the one, Merciless. Tinker.
Click boom, vamos start him out love with a crib. Long run shortcut, and they go to skip the book of money.
Big up to all of my liar listeners. Love on no.
Strictly double and triple. This year I wash out of this animal. Give them quarter dozen and them shot off in the bill. Violence in a way from we are teed and a tribble. Love with lucky party with no lead.
Well I know.
Shut up, tell them I shut up, but then them a run the island. But I make them run for water for Jesus Island. Find them going come over Thailand. Long way.
Merciless is one of those artists surely missed. Surely missed. You know what I mean? Big up every Clarendon. Big up every Clarendonian. You know what I mean?
Rebels.
Very own Merciless. Big up.
The hall said, read them up. Mr. Stonebridge. Manchester, Mr. Brick.
Natural.
Birmingham. We keep on going Birmingham. Lovebridge to the world.
Check one.
Check two. Check three. Where's the Father Biggs? Everything good?
Yeah, man. You mean we have to give thanks for life, you know?
Oh, you mean give thanks to the Almighty?
You see sun a shine, Natural?
Oh, you mean London City blazing?
I have to give thanks, road boy. Yo, can you believe it's 3 years Merciless pass already, you know? Cha.
Rest in peace, Merciless.
Them just bullet fight we are like an island. I be a pine 50 designs is violent. Don't come a land and come trespass from my land. Carry Big's name to police Sarge Byron. Say we not to them a sing and try clean as I am quick boom. Vamos shot him out love with a cripple.
Big up to everybody locked in on Mixcloud. Share the link. Share the link if you're listening on TikTok. Share the link if you're listening on YouTube. We're on Twitch. Share.
Sound boy dead.
Anywhere we go.
Yeah. Them head anywhere we go. Yeah. Sound boy dead anywhere we go.
What we name?
Sound boy dead. The sound till I tire. Chairman. You are in the exclusive attack. I mean I say Lovebridge movement. Then one man do that a bad move. I mean I say Boca. Scammer. Natural. Yo Biggs.
Natural.
Lovebridge movement keep the fire blazing.
Today we got a giant show, you know.
Oh, you mean?
Studio One artist in the house. I think this is history, you know. And first time we get a Studio One artist in the building, you know. We got Winston Francis, you know. Jaja. You know the first song in Vice 1960 to the math, you know. To the math.
Alright. Later on, we'll be reasoning with Winston Francis, legendary artist. Also, Scorpio Sound will be in the building, so don't go nowhere, okay?
You know, say a big rock steady artist, you know. International.
Scorpion,
you know.
Scorpion. My apologies. What you saying, Father Biggs? Pull up. What you saying, Father Biggs?
Listen, rock steady artist, Studio One artist. I feel like this is history at the first time in the natural. First song in Vice at 1960 something in the natural. At 2025 we're there now, you're not kidding. So we have a lot to talk about, you know. Kingston, Jamaican born, 1948. 1943, my apologies to the map at 2025 we're there now, you know. History.
So we got a lot of history to talk about,
history.
Right? Alright.
Jaja.
That's what this show's about.
Say yes, someone don't know sir, I'm not representing of a love bridge movements, you know. I made them know sir we say rich, but
Easy, I just sound in the building.
we are on the ground.
Pick up yourself,
yeah, man,
Father.
natural, made them know. Yo, Father Biggs.
Sparky Rugged in the building, I go.
One Sparky Rugged, you know.
Tell them say we make them do it like what?
Also, Scorpion Sound will be in the building later on. Don't go nowhere, we're juggling dub plates.
Say no, I love bridge style. Big Ben spark up and elastic pan Kyle. Kill we kill, song go and go run. Our pile amount of sound we kill. From we are juvenile, love bridge around the ground. A London, badness, what them a say? How we kill the most jumper, what them a say?
Turn it up and not again. Money no figure them, no for that or bad at them. Self-response, remember we not got a lot of friends. Some boys at them, a shot at them. We know about love bridge movement. Alright then, love bridge then.
Tell about my son.
Kill a son, why are we need it? What's the name of money with the people? If I this love bridge movement, you might get you bored. MSC, love bridge. You know thing, man. Some say scam and actually MSC Father Biggs. Some say book, MSC money box. Some say nah, it's like.
Later on, reasoning with Winston Francis.
Love bridge movement.
Scorpion Sound will be in the building. What a show planned. Don't go nowhere. Tell a friend. Scam and Natural alongside Father Biggs in the building.
Live and in living colors.
Alright then.
Love bridge there. Hey, you see we, Father Biggs?
Kill a son, why are we need it? What's the name of money with the people? If I this love bridge movement, you might get you bored.
We got the full management team. KOTG, we're live.
We do like a bunny, we don't live it. Anybody know it with them, I go get you bored. Alright, love bridge movements, it kill you. Take up and up couple schemos. I'm the till I sing
Pick up Youngstar Production. European Connection. Bad producer. Live in the building. Trust me. Tell them this scammer. Tell them.
Love bridge.
Movements. Hey, see Father Biggs from a touchdown. From Scammer Natural and Father Biggs touchdown. Everybody does. Drip.
Love bridge, I can fuck up in ya. Acha, uno more, Kiba, can't stop. Love bridge in ya, Emma, bad man, killer. Asa we move, asa we rock, asa we simple liquor. Move, you, wet.
If you're listening on TikTok, don't be shy, send a message. Leave a message in the comments.
Love bridge, I can fuck up in ya.
Anywhere you are around the world. You want to give us a message, 07594 366 222. You can leave us a message on WhatsApp.
Yeah, the badness upgrade long time. I'm here jeans that carry the Glock fine. Love bridge tell them, see I'm blind, we are wear what big gunka gold. Love bridge movement. I have with the gun there. Me bring them a taking and dolly Sundays. A couple broom sweep on the ground, that's a love bridge. Tell them we are not sound love fret. I love bridge. Rich badness, 30 grand boot from big robbery. Extendos and big pan clip. Daily Benz, yo, love bridge movements. Badness upgrade. Badness upgrade. Thugs place, enough fee, enough money, bus case. Just buy your house, figure store money upstairs.
Sure. Zing, 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 cho, zing, ding, 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 Hey. Yo. Big up all those on TikTok live, you know. Big up Major Mano. Big up Riley. Big up Adriel. Max. Big up Wayne Alam. Big up Debstar. Feel like me one DJ. We can DJ a song, Natural. Pull up. Let me DJ a song, man. Let me live up the lawn, man. Chuck. Ready? Chuck. Jah is my light and my salvation. Road boy, me no fear no one. I sing again. Jah is my light and my salvation. Road boy, me no fear no one. Jah make the moon and the stars, yes, he made the sun, and give us a thing which we call religion, and what we shall follow with our dedication. You have to know the difference in right and wrong. Resist all Satan's good temptation, and with him to show we in a vision. Beep you up in a heart and you soon reach Zion. To do that, robot, you must understand. You need enough knowledge, enough satisfaction. You need to mature enough wisdom. Road boys, gangsters, listen me now. Father, bigs are come for running. When we look and tell them, say, Jah is my light and my salvation. Hey, pull up. Yeah, man. There.
Yes, we're there. Live and living colors. Trust me. Big up Fullerton Chris. Proud sponsors. Big up the whole Fullerton family. Trust me, I tell you, man. Big up Fullerton Chris. Big up Nori Punches and Juices.
Well, Natural. They have to know about the Chris Road Boy. They gotta know it's Caribbean inspired flavors in the Road Boy.
Caribbean flavored Chris. You know what I mean? Link Fullerton Chris. For you, all of your Caribbean flavored Chris. Trust me.
Get your oxtail, your curry chicken, your jerk chicken, curry chicken. You know the pingo, you know.
Flavored Chris, trust me.
Yeah.
Big up Nori Punches and Juices. Big up Nori with the rum punch specialist. You can get a liter of rum punch for £25.
Deal.
I tell you, man.
Deal.
Easy dub plate refix specialist. Tell them about dub fix refix specialists.
You know all those 80s and 90s son, when you lose the doctor, you have to dub them and they're tied up and you want to change the rhythm. You know some of them outdated rhythm or you just want to bring up the vocals. Dub refix. Me not say remix enough, me say refix enough.
Easy Fab Move Vans. Trust me, the best in removal services. Big up Fabian. Fab Move Vans, the best in removal services. Trust me, if you need anything removing, anything clearance, trust me, link Fabian Fab Move Vans.
England, Scotland and Wales, mention Lovebridge and you get your little discount there. You know how the thing go.
Big up Medusa Champagne. Yes, Medusa Champagne. Brand new champagne on the roadside. They'll be sponsoring my party. Easy Medusa Champagne. I tell ya. And big up KOTG.
Wow.
Big proud sponsors. Yeah, but big up the full team, the full KOTG radio team. Big up the engineer, big up management, big up everybody right now, man. You don't know KOTG, you're large. Trust me. I gotta talk about some events coming up. We need to talk about the events coming up. Trust me, I'm gonna start with back to school. Big up Thunder first. Back to school, big party. That's the 6th of September. Down there in Luton. Scammer Natural, fully booked for that. Trust me. So the 6th of September, people get your old school uniform, the old school uniforms, you know what I mean? And reach Thunder First back to school event on the 6th of September. Don't forget the 13th of September. It's all about Pure Vibes 20th anniversary. 20 years, Father Biggs.
Can you believe?
No, sir.
Time a fly, brother. They say time waits on nobody, you know.
Time is the master. Big up Inchi, big up Davdo, 20th anniversary. And that's the, trust me, big. King Adis will be in the building in the Father Biggs.
Wow. Big move.
So that's the 13th of September. Hi, King Adis. Live.
You can't say like that, Natural. You have to say King Hadis, the Cha-cha.
Don't forget Veterans Cup Clash. Jeez.
Tell them about it, Natural.
Veteran Cup Clash, the 26th of July. Trust me, what a clash. We got the veteran. Hey, Father Biggs.
Yes, my brother.
Real veterans will be in the UK, you know.
Yes.
Real veterans go, we're not even gonna go head to head. Real veterans, battlefield showdown.
And this is what we need, you know. Them have to teach the youth them. You understand? Tell them the sounds on the night, Natural.
We got the veteran Silver. Hold on. We got the veteran Silver Hawk in the building.
Yo, Natural, you see in the 90s, everybody had a Silver Hawk cassette, you know, brother.
Trust me.
Everybody had a Silver Hawk. You see, before Bass Odyssey and all them sound, it was raining, you know. It was about Silver Hawk and Super D, you know, brother.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
We got Black Scorpio will be in the building.
Big up Jack Scorpio. We got the full family, you know. Big sound, you know.
Sir David Rodigan will be in the building.
Wow, yeah, I'm glad you said the sir, you know. Sir David Ram Jam Rodigan.
Love Injection from Birmingham will be in the building.
Yo, Birmingham strong bad sound, you know. Love
so that's
Injection.
the 26th of July. Veterans Cup Clash. And Father Biggs, we got ticket selling, you know, so that's what we have to tell the people, and they can get their tickets right here.
Well, TikTok's listening, you know. Let them know, Natural. Let them know, my brother.
£35 tickets going right now, so people, Veterans Cup Clash.
Going once, going twice. You, Lord of mercy.
And that's Milan Place, Southall. Trust me.
Natural, roadblock, you know. Roadblock, Southall. Anytime anything going down there, roadblock. Where you got the vintage sound, the original, you know.
We said guaranteed to hear some song that night for the
Natural. You see the 4 sounds? They were before laptops. This is when it was steel. All them sounds they used to play steel, brother. Original. Okay.
Also, Jugglemania. Jugglemania. The 8th of August. Marshallek Movements. Mellowtown. Sean Powers. Infinity UK. Bagger British. Sovereign Roadshow. Yeah, that 45 edition.
Hey, that I got big. Big up Sean Powers, you know. Hey, that I got nice. Coming at
Friday the 8th of August. Thing called Jugglemania. People, you can get your tickets right here. You know what I mean?
Hey, the sound them will have to juggle for them life in a road, boy.
Jugglemania, trust me. Also, bus drivers link up. Live in the building, DeMarco, Deneo. That's next week, Sunday. That's this Sunday coming. This Sunday forwarding. Bus drivers link up. The 6th of July. Deneo, DeMarco. What a lineup, Father Biggs.
Mad and mean, you know.
That's Addington Park, Kent. The Gateway. Kent. All the way down there. I swear there's coaches leaving. Yeah, man. Coaches leaving London.
Definitely, bro. This coach is leaving. Definitely. So you can, have a little drink and vibes. You see me?
Postcode CR058R. Trust me.
Hey, Natural, that's deep Kent, you know. People, book the coach. If you want to have a nice time, jump on the coach. Nobody drive, you know.
For sure. Link up. I do remember next part, the Father Biggs, we want to talk about next week right here.
Hey! That bit of the way up on the enough. Yo, Natural, tell them who you know.
Next week right here, we have Streets in Action Radio Clash. Trust me. If you love dub plates and you want to hear a clash, a radio clash, right here's the place to be. Unique Star vs Solution Sound.
Hey, if you like war, you know, definitely next week this time, war in the building.
Right here.
Right, yes, sir.
Radio War. Unique Star vs Solution Sound. And you know what, Father Biggs, I feel like we need to talk, we need to have a brief reasoning conversation with the man there.
I feel like we're gonna have to do that.
That's how we should kick off the show. We should kick off the show with a reasoning from Unique Star and Ringo to let us know what. Cause you see, Unique Star is a sound from 1989.
Natural. Them around Bristol from them time there, you know.
Bristol big sound from 1989.
Jeez.
Big up Snoopy. Anyway, you are Snoopy. If you're listening, give us a call. Tell us about your sound. Tell us about next week. What the listeners can expect.
Hey, Natural. Me answer them have the most sugar minor tenor. Jeez. Yo, that clash here, I got serious. Big up Solutions as well, you know. Bad sound.
Solution, Ringostar, big up yourself.
Yeah, man. I feel like the first country sound come on the land, you know. I usually stay London somewhere up on the land, you know. So,
yes, we have a couple Luton sounds on the land.
Natural Luton and London, man.
I true.
Big up the Luton family, you know. But I want them beat me, you know, but Luton and London. A 20-minute drive, brother.
All right, we got somebody calling in live. Who's one?
Hold on, man. We can't hold on them. That's right.
You can't hear me, Snoopy?
Yeah, man. We can't hear you clear now. Yes, man.
All right. You can give me a little volume on the phone line? All right. Snoopy.
Yeah.
Next week, you'll be on the battlefield streets in action. Right here on the radio. So
yes.
Before we start talking about next week, we want let the listeners know some history about Unique Star Sound.
Well, I hear it from 89, but it's originally from 76.
From 76?
Yes, 76.
Oh.
And then we changed our name in 89.
Okay. So what was the original name in 76?
Well, the original name with the one amp and couple speakers was SIR Winston. Yeah? SIR Winston. And then because them time there was more roots and culture, we changed our name to Lord Loco. Yeah?
Yeah.
With the one turntable business, and those days it was special.
Yeah.
And then because the music was changing to more rubber dub, we changed our name to Unistar in 89.
Right.
Yes, that's the history.
So let the listeners know where Unique Star is based. Or have you always been based in Bristol or?
Always in Bristol. St. Paul's.
St. Paul's. Okay, Bristol's own Unique Star.
Yeah, St. Paul's. Yeah, Bristol.
Okay. So what can we expect next week? Talk to us.
Well, it's gonna be a boom shack attack, that's all I know, because we used to deal with Sugar Miner back in the days. Yeah. Scorpio. Because we give Sugar Miner the mixing board, the 32 mixing board was right in Jamaica right now.
Right, so
we give Sugar Miner.
You bought it and you gave it to him.
Yes, because my school friend originally used to play for Garnet, so he originally went to him and he used to play in a band called Paso Band, and Sanchez and Garnet was arguing over the band at the time. But my friend was shy, so he never used to talk. So I told my cousin to take back the board, and for some reason it ended up in a Sugar Ant. And from there, so music started flow like snap.
So Sugar Miner voiced a whole load of your dubs. Because Biggs made a talk about 5 minutes ago, and Biggs said, I believe Unique Star have the most Sugar Miner dub plates. So is that true, or is that something you would say?
If it's down in Bristol, yeah, I can't say for anywhere else, because I tell you what, we played Youthman Promotion down in Bristol one time, and Daddy Ant was on the sound, and Daddy Ant was Sugar Miner at the time, Youthman Promotion selector, and he told me from what he hear we play, Sugar D, were you good?
Okay.
Yeah, because Daddy Shot. All right, let me say it this way. All my Little John, every Dunkley and all them artists, they come from Sugar Miner Camp.
Youth Man Promotion. Well, not the sound, but the studio.
Yeah. Yes. It never come from the studio. Over the years, me hear people get it from this studio, that studio, but all of ours come from Sugar Miner Camp.
Okay.
All of them.
We have over 100 people on listening on TikTok right now. We want them to listen next week. So make them. So really and truly, you're saying Unique Star have a bag of music to come on this show next week and feature, right?
Of course, man. I have some tune where, yeah, man.
Original song. Some original song.
Original song with some long time intro. Joe Lickshot and all them, man.
You know one thing I know about Unique Star as well? Hey, they see the sound system in Bristol, Scammer. You see their sound system. Powerful,
yeah.
You know. Them have one of the most powerful sound systems in England, you know. Me not lie, you know.
For true.
Powerful.
Got the Jamaican flag on it, man. A piece of the song was meant to go down Jamaica. But sadly, my cousin had a stroke, so he couldn't bring the song down there again.
Sorry to hear that, man.
Yes, man.
So Snoopy, what was the last clash you was involved in?
Oh, the last clash. I think it was on a radio station what should be where Blackout JA, which all clashes every so often, but we used to clash alongside Red Hot, Sparkles International, Splashdown, Qualitex, anybody would want to clash at the time, you know? Yeah. So one of the biggest ones I know we used to clash with was David Radigan, Qualitex. I think that was around in the late 90s. That's when Radigan said to us, we played the Abashanti dub, and he said, "You're the only sound I first ever hear that dub, Abashanti."
Jeez.
The Abyssinians.
Abyssinians. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you remember what year that was?
That could have been, let me see, I'm just guessing now, because my cousin Big D would know. I think it was around either the late 80s or the early 90s.
So when you said the Abyssinians, was it all three of them, yeah? The all three of them? Yeah, man, original.
Yes.
Yeah,
From
man.
David Radigan said he's the only one what hear us play. So that was the full crew.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I'm looking forward to hearing you Tuesday forwarding. I'm looking forward to it, you know, because I know you have some vintage steel around there, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, I know you have some vintage steel around there, you know. You know, like we like to create history on the platform, yeah, you know.
Definitely.
So it's gonna be well festive, you know.
It's gonna be history, man. It's gonna be history. It's going to be history.
So have you done your research on the sound that you're facing and solutions? Have you done your research?
No, I'm not saying I didn't want to, but I don't really know the song. But I saw it go sometimes. You just have to go there and you know what you have. Because I've been listening to some from the COVID time.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of sounds that's come out. I've seen sounds I even never heard of. I got a feeling that sound is a family of mine, you know, because my surname is Stewart.
Okay.
And I know I chat to somebody who's in the church who had a sound, who got a song.
Well,
you know?
That'd be well interested if you clash a cousin and you don't know what.
So like how there's loads of history, just tell us a few more things my listeners would like to know about Unique Star Sound, because I know you're a man, you got a lot of history. Just tell us a few more little things like how you told us earlier about Unique Star Sound.
Well, we used to play most of the big sounds like Shaka, Small Axe. We played with Saxon back in the days when them time that it wasn't dub, it was the entertainers.
Right.
Yeah. It was a man on the mic what entertain them, didn't it? It's a bit Saxon. No, Coxon, sorry.
Right.
Regular. Coxon used to live in a Bristol one time. Yeah.
Yeah.
He might key to go on the front door. Yeah.
Yeah.
They used to book him like he used to live down there. We played most of the big sounds back in the days, and Burnham sound like Naya Man and all that sound there.
So that was the 90s. That would have been the early 90s them time then, isn't it? Like late 80s, early 90s.
Where sound was thriving.
Yeah.
Every session was new though. Every session new though. Every session new though. So because we used to go to London and meet Sugar, Greggy Isaac, and one of the Eptones up in Ausden. And because my cousin gave him 2 pork by that machine, whenever Sugar put on anything, he just said, take what you want to.
Okay.
Take what you want to. Take what you want to. Now.
So is it fair to say this is a return to the battlefield for Unique Star in 2025? Is this a return? Is it for Unique Star? Is it fair to say that?
Yes, I would say that, yeah, because we haven't really played a clash for a long time.
So,
you know?
Do you think sound system has evolved then? Can you see remember how you played back in the 90s and now it's 2025 and you're battling against a Sound Like Solutions? What difference do you think you're going to bring this time now to what are you bringing?
Well, I think what we will bring is that the big dub then with the big artists. And it's not going to be the same. It's not going to be the same artists than what me hear people play on the scene with them.
So history then.
Because let me tell you something. Me and Blackout and some man went down there yard to do a video with Aicha Candy and Candyman.
Yeah.
And when they hear me name, they say, "What a minute, but me know your name, you know." But some man was staring at me when I went down to Robert up Thursday and said, "Brother, me know you know." But they was talking about my cousin, because them time there I wasn't dealing with the music. But when they was talking about you got this and you got that, I never even know somebody have a pan dub a long time in the dub box. Because remember, it was steel.
Yes.
And not only we work for Sugar, we work for Mikey General, because Mikey General used to live in my cousin house in Bristol. And I know
Big
Mikey
singer.
over 40 years before him had dread on him head. Yeah?
So
we have work for Mikey too.
So you play with laptop or you play with CDs? We have to ask because a lot of the big sound them, like the elder sound them, they still work with the CDs, you know. You're Mac Pro, you Sora, or you still working with the CDs?
I had to, well, say it this way, I didn't move very slow, but I have to go up on the laptop.
Yes, sir.
I ain't got no choice. I had to go because it ends up a little bit looking a bit like, come on, man, you have to move with the time now.
So one more question: is it you one playing the sound next week, or you have an MC, or you are the MC and you have somebody that play song for you, or is it was it
I'm
just
going
you?
to be the MC, but me have a friend.
You have a young shooter.
Because like some of the man them couldn't make it because of the time. It's going to be like around an early time for them to leave because they got their grandchildren. And
Yes.
So neither one was more kind of freedom because me know to me retire now that I can go anytime or anywhere when me want.
Well, I will say it's history you're going to create, even forwarding from Bristol to our platform. I have to give you manners and respect for that, you know, and honor, because that, me know Bristol, you know, that's a, what's that, M4?
Yeah, man,
a long
down,
drive,
man.
that, man.
Enough stone man to come at Bristol. You see with Bristol, every stone used to reach on a Bristol one time.
Me know.
You know, when the bamboo was around, you know, every stone burn up all over. Manchester, everybody.
Well, just make sure you leave early on the M4, you know, and forward down. You know.
Leave early, man.
Yeah, man.
I may be opening up the place.
Yeah, man. Me know. All
right. Yo, thank you, Snoopy.
I may be opening up the office.
Snoopy, enough respect. Enough respect. We're looking forward to seeing you next week. You know what I mean? I'm looking forward to seeing the clash next week. So
all right, my friend. Yeah, man. Give thanks, man.
Give thanks.
Yeah, man.
Every time.
Respect, yeah?
Yeah.
Cola. With that Ringostar Solution sound.
Solution sound is in the building.
Live, you know. Manners and respect, bro.
Manners and respect every time.
Yes, sir.
We just spoke to Unique Star Snoopy about the Streets in Action clash next week. But before we go into that, just let the listeners know the history of Solution Sound? Give us a little piece of history first.
As for all right, I believe that I am the sound in terms of the wanna for the sound is what make the sound what it is. I've been in sound business from birth.
Okay.
My family has been in sound business. I don't know, some people might hear the name Lord David. From back in the 50s coming up.
Okay.
My family actually did own a pub, one of the first black pubs in London.
Okay. Can you remember the area?
And I've always wanted to own my own sound. So when I get this opportunity, I didn't continue with the family sound. I decided to start my own.
Can you remember the year that you started, that you said, yeah, this is Solution Sound? Can you remember the year that you said you're building your sound and you cut your first dub plate? Can you remember the year?
I would say it's about 20 years ago.
Okay, so
it's about 20 years ago.
2000, about 2000, yeah?
Yeah, up in them time or probably before. I had dubs before, but when I first built the sound, it was in about 2000.
Okay.
And one of the reasons for me to even build the sound, I remember one of my daughter was born in that time. And I did hire a sound system, one of my friend's sound system.
Yeah.
And when I realized, you know, the cost, I went out the following week and I bought. I remember them time it was because I could, you know what, I could say to you possibility that I'm one of the first CD sound in London, you know, possible.
Okay.
I maybe could even claim that. And the reason why I said I could claim that, because I was one of them guys who was at every clubs and stuff back in the days. And most of the man they were going around with vinyl in a little case, you get me? 45 and stuff. And I remember when I bought my first Newmark, the first one I bought was from August, funny enough, Index.
Yeah,
it was called then.
That was definitely the early 2000s, because we had techniques too, and we put it down for CDs maybe 2001, 2002. So round about them time there for real enough. May I listen enough?
Yeah. So in them early times, then 99 coming up, and I had a whole heap of CD. You know what I mean? When most people didn't even have CD in their house, I have a lot of CDs. And that's how I started off in the first instant.
Okay.
But I did have some of my dubs and that was cut on slate and then vinyl back in them time, because as I said, my family used to run studio, you know?
Yes.
So I already started cutting some dubs and putting down and stuff, because I was born in it.
Okay, so would you say a South London sound? Would you say you're a South London based sound? You're South London sound?
Yeah, 100%. 100% South London.
Okay.
You know, funny enough, I actually did a few events in Bristol where Unique Star. They don't remember me still, but I remember them. Back then I used to do some event up there in a place called the Black Swan.
Okay, that's one of the biggest pubs in Bristol where all the black people got. I know I hear about that pub.
Yeah, man. I brought a lot of stuff down that side back in the days. Me and one of my brother them call him broke up. We do a lot of event down there.
Okay.
Cause I remember one of the last event I brought Mr. Mighty and a couple guys down there.
Okay. Which Mikey? Third Dimension Mikey? Which Mikey?
Say again?
Which Mikey?
Mr. Mighty.
Oh, Mr. Mikey. Okay.
Mighty from Vibes FM, innit?
Okay, yeah. May I listen? All right.
That was one of the last events I think I kept in Bristol. Yeah.
Question for you: when's the last time you've been on the battlefield? When's the last time you had a clash?
I would say the last proper clash after COVID I had was with a song called SMB.
Yeah, man. Me hear the clash there. I hear that clash there.
Okay.
I hear that clash there. Yo, one thing we do my history, you know. Me do a lot of research on the sound them, you know. I hear that was a nice clash with you and SMB. So I kind of know what you're bringing to the table. Cause I know you probably got more new tune from there, sir. But I kind of heard the basis.
I'm not even gonna say new tune, because during that time, because even up to this day, I'm still taking down songs from email and taking them off CDs and even cassette. I've been running songs off because I do a lot of gigs every week, but most of my event is like maybe christening, weddings, funerals. They don't really in details dubs.
Yes.
And I would say
but
it
you
was
clashed
during
SMB
COVID
twice,
time.
isn't it? It was twice you SMB clash.
That was it. It was during COVID time. I actually take out my dubs, most of my dubs.
A lot of us is true, you know. A lot of sounds.
The online thing is true. It's true. I didn't like the both clashes.
It's during that time because so a lot of man was shook.
Yeah, it was different
when them
styles.
Start hearing the dubs them that I pull out. You get me?
Yo, me hear all the scala was squammy, me all a couple baby weird and all them things that me say, all right.
All right. So you know, okay, so you know what a clock has strike. You get me?
I tell you already, you know, I'm a historian when it comes to UK sound clash.
Yeah, fam. As I said, I'm most of my, in that dance with even me and SMB. I didn't even get to play. I didn't play. Cause it's after the clash done. If you're listening to the clash, you hear a man say, "Yo, so we was holding back those dubs for because I'm a John out them and all them dubs there. I didn't play them in SMB because SMB wasn't even warrant them dubs. Cause it didn't. To me personally, I was mainly trying to accommodate SMB.
I'm not gonna get involved in that, you know. So when was your first clash?
I literally was because. It doesn't have the caliber or the type of dubs from back then, because I know he was only a 5-year-old soon as him claim. You see me I say?
Mm-hmm.
So I believe this clash that I'm gonna have now with Unique is gonna be a bit different because for one, he said he's been around more than 30 years, so I'm expecting
history.
History exactly.
History.
So I'll bring my history book for him.
Okay.
And see where he stand because funny enough during COVID I had a clash. I have a proper dance clash in a club with another sound called Buchanan.
Yes. I've heard, yeah. One man sounder, innit? He played by himself.
I wouldn't say, cause the night when I clash him, he bring a rental dread with him still. You get me?
Cheese and peas and. So listen, speaking of MCs, are you gonna play the sound by yourself? Because the clash with SMB, with the MC you bring that night there, is he with your sound? Cause I don't know. The MC that have the bad MC still. Are you gonna MC and play? Are you playing by yourself?
You see the difference where a man don't understand, cause that they kind of cause a little controversy in the night.
You know? That's what I'm
what them man don't realize that the MC, I didn't bring an MC. That's actually JD is actually my auntie's son. Me and him are two first cousins.
So he's in your sound.
And then me and him start the sound system from back then in the early stage.
That's why it's good to talk.
If you listen to every dub that I actually cut, even up to this day, JD name is still in those dubs.
Then he's in the sound.
He's in the sound.
Yeah, man.
So exactly, because if a man name you dub them, if all of you dub them or most of you dub them, then you can't say he's not his family.
True.
His family.
True.
But in reality, JD own a sound too, because he has a song called JD Vibes.
Okay.
But that doesn't warrant like myself. I go with JD Vibes more time JD Vibes roll with me. So it all depends on the situation.
It's one link.
You get me?
It's one link. I say it's one link, innit? Are your family?
Yeah. So
his name's in your dub.
So it can be a surprise for anybody when a man turn up. but certain sound don't warrant a shooter. They only want a sniper.
Well, you know what? One thing I do like about the two sound them, you know, is that this platform is perfect for you. Cause I know that you're a Christian man as well and you don't swear. Remember, I tell you something, watch everything, you know. And Unique Star's a big man. I can see this clash here, and it's a perfect platform because it's no profanity. You know, we don't like, you know, the bad word in them, so we keep it clean. So I feel this clash will definitely be about music.
Skills.
Yes, music.
Showcase music.
And talent.
Yeah, you know what? That's one of the great parts about it. Because as I said, as much as you love the sound, you love the sound. There's a bad, remember, something a bad man thing, you know, and they carry a bad part to it too.
Yeah.
So that have out, when you're building a sound, you can't build it and feel say you don't have shot for fire.
Yes.
So I remember as a Christian, you know, me a Peter, I cut off all him ears for him, you know. And ask the bishop to put it back on for him, you know. But let's get to that.
One thing I like though is that you keep it clean, because you always talk about your religion and that when you're playing. When you're clashing, I realize you don't swear, you keep it clean, so I have to give you respect for that. Because even you said it, in these times, it's be a bad word. The selection
you don't have to,
but
I've proven that you don't have to swear to.
And I respect you.
So do I.
I respect that. And this is why we got, me and my brother said, why we have this platform here, because we like it to be clean. We want people to hear talent, not just vulgar, bad word. Me and my brother sat down and said we want to hear talent.
Gone are the days back in the days when some man used some profanity and all them stuff there. It's not necessary because, all right, let me tell you something. Even now to where the music is going, some man don't realize that clash can become a ballroom thing. Because it's entertainment. And you're not gonna go in a ballroom, go swear and tell a man where to go and all them stuff there, would you?
True.
So in the same breath, you can play music without have to use profanity. So
some exclusive
it's right up my street, to be quite honest with you. I like it. So
that's what we like to hear. You know what I mean? Because this is what we're trying to do. This is what we're trying to. What we want the sound man them to embrace it. Because this is what we're trying to do. We want to keep it clean. So the
next
youth
week,
yeah. Sorry, Natural.
No, yeah, but no, yeah.
No, I'll say we're keeping it clean so the youth them that's growing up can listen and learn. They can listen to the sound clash and learn.
See,
and it's clean.
Let me say something, because I'm not one to chastise nobody.
Yes, sir.
Everybody do them thing different. And the one I'm trying to tell a man that there's always a space for everybody.
True.
Because if you listen to the music them that they're cutting these days, there's a lot of profanity in them and under that, and we're over this one. You get me?
Yeah.
And sometimes that's what a certain set of people wants to hear. And good luck, not a problem. A man can hear. If them enjoy that, then no problem. But there's a space for people like me.
Yes.
And I see you're creating that kind of atmosphere.
Respect.
You understand?
Respect.
And we want to keep that dignity in the community in that aspect.
Yes.
Right. You know, so I'm really looking forward to next week, though.
Next week, people, Streets in Action. If you've just locked in, we are talking to Ringo from Solution Sound, and he's on the battlefield next week on Streets in Action.
Natural. When you check it, you know, 1983. And 20 years. That's like 50 years of experience. 50 years between them. I'd say even over 50 years. Cause 83. Don't want to do the math now. 83, nearly 40 years.
But what I think you have to understand, as I said, Tuesday will prove a point, and it's gonna prove a point whereby. Remember, you know, we have some people at 70-year-old in this country. I don't want nothing, you know.
True.
So don't make age fool you. You see where I'm coming from? Cause you have some little youth who just come here in reality and have a 3-4 house.
True.
And you have some man there, them are 70-year-old and still live in a council property.
True.
So not because a man around a son 30 and 40 years. All right, I give an example. My family back then when they were running sound system, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
They used to run all the push-ins. Every dance and depend.
Yeah.
But where they did not captivate was cutting dubs. They were mainly using rhythms.
Yes.
So what tend to happen now in this day and age, although they've been around so long, there's no evidence. Because dub play is an evidence of your sound system.
It's a receipt.
See it there? See it there?
So most of the sound from back in the days who used to run those and run them the scene and talk about the scene, them not have no dubs. So a 45 them used to use and lock down most of the party them.
True.
And because the time has changed upon them now, them can't fit into this market because them can't sell my come play at any event now. Because everybody can get 45 now.
Mm-hmm. For free.
You understand?
Well.
And it's dub what make your sound different.
Yeah, true.
So that was one of the biggest mistakes that they have made back then, that they weren't cutting dubs and have dubs for sure. The legacy.
Man,
you understand?
Definitely.
So at the legacy we are set up right now, as I say, on Tuesday I'll hear the legacy if there's any legacy was left. I'll create.
You don't know. Next
you
week,
start the war already, you know.
Turn up from early.
Yeah, man.
People log in from early. Streets in action, battlefield. Will be open.
As I said, I don't know Snoopy like that. As I said, I've heard him. I've heard about them. I've seen them in Bristol, but not up close and close in a sense when I know them like that. You see me? I said. So, a war.
Musically.
A musical war.
I met the best.
Well, yeah, that's the thing there. As I said, you shake when you start and shake when you finish, innit?
Yeah.
You get me?
I feel say it's not gonna be about new tune next weekend. I feel say it's not gonna be about the new tune. I feel say two big men are gonna just play big songs still. That's how I see it.
No, that I get. Yeah, feel all this, but no, me not give no information like that. A man forward and prepare himself.
When you see the number you just called us on, that is gonna be the number to vote in. So just tell a friend. You know what I mean? To vote for you, you know what I mean, and that's the number. People can be voting. They can be calling in, or they can vote in on the WhatsApp. So that will be the voting.
You see, one thing with me, I'm not biased. I'm not biased in that sense. Most of the dancing, which is what's happening right now, is a lot of biasness going on. And I tell people to be honest with yourself and honest with what you're hearing. Yes, sometimes you're a supporter of a song, and if you go to support the song, regardless if them play good or bad, you wanna vote for them.
Yeah.
But that one I think where I see going on now, where you go out and no matter where you play now, son boy, you can't win because the man they have them crowd. And you can't take that away from a man. All right, if you go and listen back to SMB clash with me and SMB clash, 99.9% a man say you win that clash, but at the end of the day, is SMB walk away with the trophy.
What I will say is that one thing is about the clash, it will go on audio and visual, and it will be on YouTube, and you will see the comments. Like, you know, that's one thing.
That's what I'm trying to say, because
people will
talk,
you know.
Comments. I went and look back on the comments with me and SMB, and even SMB said it to me during the time of the clash that you guys win. So him realized and know say to what we forward with, we did well, but you have more horn and more crowd than the night, and that take it, and he's aware of that. Big man thing, you know what I mean? And that's why I said I put my hands up to SMB in that sense. It says from where he's coming from and when they know in terms of
definitely
publicizing him sound, making him sound be heard, win or lose.
Yes.
You get me? So, him go do him thing, and I respect him for that.
Big up SND family, big up Scrapper, big up Bucky, you know, for real, you know.
Yeah, man.
Big them up for real,
Nigel, I'm a family to all them never know.
Big up Papa Nigel, you know.
In our soul, you know.
Jeez, it's a small world, you know. Big up Papa Nigel.
They didn't even know that them and they are my family, proper family. And I'm not far out neither, very close family. But me just leave it there so. But as I said, it's a musical thing, and you give people credit where credit due.
Yes, sir.
You know?
Yes, sir.
If you build a sound today and you have your money, you can actually reach far. It's all about the money spending and how much you love it.
Yeah. And talent.
You know, if you love it, you can build it. I may give everybody credit. Say, if you love your machine, build your machine and do what you have to do. And give thanks to the platform them we've been creating or you know, like yourself and full package and all them them things we are going. It can help the sound culture. Because enough of we have with someone sit down in a storage and kind of get it out to play in this day and age.
True. And you know, the world always say UK don't have no sound because they don't really see much. So that's why we do it. And as you said, the other platforms, we do it because we want the world to see. Remember, the world is watching. We want the world to see that UK. Because that's what me and Scammer always say. We want the world to see, say, UK have some bad sound.
Yeah, and this is exactly. So what you're doing now will help them to see that UK does have some bad sound, because I was surprised at the amount of sound that the UK does have, and as I said, it's only online that caused some of them to be shining and people to even know that they exist. Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
So make we keep this trend going and just you know what I mean, do what we have to do. But Snoopy, if you are listening, make sure you take the motorway and drive safe.
Yes.
Safe travel on the
If you know you're not ready, leave it in the garage.
Well, next week, people, streets in action will be, and you know what, fam? Ringo, if you're not doing nothing, let's keep locked into the show because we have Black Scorpion family. Black Scorpion.
No, just Scorpion.
Just Scorpion. So
Chewy done the advert earlier.
Scorpion Sound
is South London Sound.
In the full package team is in the building.
Jeez.
Scorpion Sound is in. They will be releasing some dub plates later on. We're gonna have an interview with them.
Yeah, man.
Winston Francis.
Yeah, man. And listen, big up my truth of them. JD, big up themselves. You know what I mean? GS, big up on themselves. I know they maybe a listen right now. We're done ready. Are ready for the war. You see
yes, man. And
we're not talking about prepare for the war, you know. We're ready for the war.
Yes, sir. Right. And keep that number there. And remember to give it to your patrons, yeah?
But we're ready for the war.
And keep that number there and give it to your people them as well, so they vote for you as well. And Ringostar, same thing, you know. Not Ringostar, Snoopy. Cause we never tell him that earlier as well. Natural.
Okay, yeah,
Unique Star.
Yeah, man.
Unique Star. If you're listening,
same number.
Save that number.
Save it
and give to your supporters.
Give to your patrons.
Yeah, man.
Respect.
Man. So is this the number that you guys used last time? Or
yes. So save this number.
Save the number.
Save the number.
Man, not unrespecting, yeah? Bless up.
But it's been a pleasure, man. So you don't know.
Manners. Every time. Give thanks.
See there. No send no more. Man.
All right, bless.
All right, respect.
Cool.
We love it. So Father Biggs, with no further ado, we're going to be interviewing Winston Francis. So before we do that, we're going to play some of his music on the live. You know what I mean?
And Natural, we're going to play some of his new music, you know. Yeah, man. Gonna show you, say, the Elder is still a voice song. New music.
Voice and Sounds, Winston Francis.
Oi!
For everyone, the stars shine so bright.
I ain't gonna lie, looking forward to this interview, you know. History, you know. History. So your birthplace or not?
My hand in my world, I would give it away just to see the girls at play.
Cheese!
And when I am king, surely I will.
Hey, we're not lie, you know. We have some big singers in the UK, you know.
And everything. And now that I'm king and my queen will come at dawn, I'll be waiting in Kingston Town.
All right, I'm gonna play some more Winston Francis, you know.
Living legend, Tickle!
Feel like me a string up a big sound, you know. Feel like me there blues right now, you know. Long time party.
Ear tune! People, share the live. We have a legendary singer in the building, you know. When you talk about rock steady, when you talk about Studio One, you know, can't left out Winston Francis, you know. People, this is history. I tell you, the first album, 1969, you know. No, sir.
You just what to say. Now I found out today that all the words had slipped away.
Miss Ayo, me love reggae music, you know.
There's always a chance. A tiny spark will be. Sparks turn into flames. Love can burn again. But I know you know.
Now, people, share the life, because our history, you know. This is the first on this land. First time we're interviewing someone that sang rock steady in the 60s. That, you know, so people, share the life. I'm telling you, this is history.
Gather round, children, and learn.
Voice out of SIR Winston Francis. Yeah, man.
You're making a big mistake. Hold on, let's have that debate.
Ease. Yeah, man, people, share the life, you know. Our history tonight, you know. 1960 till now, till 2025, you know. Slassy.
You're making a big mistake. Hold on, let's have that debate. Reason to learn not to win. Slow down, speak of it. You're forcing your opinion down me throat. Man, don't be stubborn like a goat. Slow down, hold down your temper. Slow down, don't let it run.
Nah, man, pull up.
Gather round.
People, share the life, you know. That interview that naga normal, you know.
Hold on, let's have that debate. Reason to learn not to win. Slow down, speak up it. You're forcing your opinion down me throat. Man, don't be stubborn like a goat. Slow down, hold down your temper. Slow down, don't let it run over. Show them you're not drunk when you're sober. Slow down, hold down your temper.
People, turn up your radio. Turn up your sound, you know. We got the one Sparky Rugged, you know. Big up Ija, son. Zing, ding, 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 ding.
Because you can't see your plan. You run too fast, make you walk too time. Express yourself without any anger. You'll make your point more stronger. Slow down, hold down your temper.
Yo, big up everybody on the live, you know. I'm seeing what go on, you know. Share it. People, share. Hold on. People, share the bloody life. Tonight, our history. You notice me like we said a word there, though. And I don't use that word lightly, people. Share the life. We have a vintage singer, you know. When you talk about Studio One, when you talk about rock steady, you know. 1960s, you know. Hey, I'm telling you, the interview is going to be crazy. You're going to learn a lot today about how reggae music was voiced in the 60s. It's not like now you can have your laptop and you have your headphones. No, you had to go studio, but I'm not going to say no more. We're going to wait, you know. But let me play some more of SIR Winston Francis. Respect where respect due.
Get up, stand up. Stand up for your right.
One more time.
Get up, stand up. Don't give up. What will life be really worth? It don't matter what race or country that you come from. We are all just people, so we have to stand strong. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight.
When you're not following your heart, it's hard to see what's real anymore. Remain calm and breathe. There ain't no point in living if you can't believe in yourself. By yourself, there's a harmony. For each and every one of us, a karma bleeds. When we stand up together, we can part the sea.
The rich own not all of the government, the soldier and the police. The poor citizens, they have nothing. All that we have is we. One day the tables will turn, and all wicked people will learn.
Hey, pull up. People, share the live. This is Sir Winston Francis. When it comes to musical thing, call.
Get up, stand up. Stand up for your right.
One more time.
Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Governments are trying to kill all the people on the earth.
Ding digga digga dang 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 dang.
If we don't stand firm, what will life be really worth? It don't matter what race or country that you come from. We are all.
Hey people, me love reggae music, you know.
Have to stand strong.
Sure.
Get up, stand up. Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up.
Don't give up the fight. This is an exclusive interview, you know. How you mean? Big up Uncle Winston and the KOTG Love Rich family. How you mean it? Blessings always. How you mean?
I tell you, we got a legendary artist in the building.
Sure.
Don't you talk about the things.
Hey, pull up. Hey, Natural.
Legendary Studio One. Legendary artist in the building, Winston Francis.
Hey,
trust me,
Natural.
He's gonna tell us about their history.
Imagine today's Happy International Reggae Day, you know. By right time, you know. Natural.
That's why we got the legendary artist in the building. We call you in.
Hey, you see Jaworks?
We say it's international what?
Natural, hold on. International Reggae Day.
So big up to all reggae historians. You're gonna get some history today. Trust me.
Natural, real history, you know.
Love Bridge movements keep the fire blazing.
Love me today and not tomorrow. Cause tomorrow may never come. Don't you talk about the things we did yesterday. Yesterday will never come back again.
Big up to all who's locked in on Mixcloud. Big up to the people locked in on YouTube. Big up to the TikTok people them.
Say your love for me will never grow old.
Over 60 years and the voice don't change the Natural. Sure.
Big up to people that locked in on TikTok. Big up. Tell a friend, Winston Francis in the building. Later on, Scorpion Sound will be in the building.
Natural, Sir Winston Francis. This song is entitled Pledging My Love. What you say? Every day a reggae day? Achoo, man. Achoo.
This is off the brand new album, thing called, song entitled Winston. The album entitled Winston. On all major platforms, selling in stores. 19 tracks, 19 beautiful tracks. I tell you, man, SIR Winston Francis.
Love Bridge movements, keep the fire blazing.
Here come the champion sound, Love Bridge sound.
Batman sound. It's a Love Bridge movement sound.
Here come the champion sound.
Hey, man, I like in the UK we got some treasures in the natural. To them to know, you know, we have some treasures in the. What are they? Let me play one of my personal favorites.
Love Bridge movements, keep the fire blazing. Love Bridge movements, keep the fire blazing. Love Bridge movements, keep the fire blazing.
Album entitled Winston. Go check it out. Go check it out right now. Winston Francis.
I don't know if you're gonna show. My darling, I gotta go. But nevertheless
7622. You say big up Uncle Winston and the KOTG family. Give us a little name. Who's calling? Who's texting? Who's texting? This song is entitled Rastaman Prayer, you know. Yeah, man. At that side there.
Me gold and me silver. But you can't take away the Rastaman culture.
How could you do that? You would be wrong.
So you hear the sound.
Hear the bongo drum them, hear the bingy drum, you know.
Chanting down Babylon, chanting down the kingdom.
Playing from on top of the hill. Playing from on top of the hill.
That means that I shall not walk with no gun to go shut nobody down.
Yo, we got a real Rastaman, you know. We got Bobo, Bingy, 12 tribe. You mean, man? We got the natural Rastaman, them, you know.
The kids and the wife, shut the man up, kill him and take all his life. Stop the man up, kill him and take all his life. How will you ever take the Lord Jesus Christ with that?
Love Bridge movements, keep the fire blazing. Love Bridge movements, keep the fire blazing. Love Bridge movements, keep the fire blazing.
many guys has come to you with a line that wasn't true, and you passed them by. Now you're in the city ring, and these lines don't mean a thing. Why don't you let me try?
Love Bridge movements, keep the fire blazing.
Hey, you know some love. Hey, that song you're big, you know. La 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 la. Nah, but hey, hey, hey. People share the live, share the live.
Many guys has come to you with a line that wasn't true, and you passed them by. Now you're in the city ring, and these lines don't mean a thing. Why don't you let me try? I
Yeah, man, the life will go crazy, you know.
Easy out and bad.
La 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 la. Voila. Natural. We play that one there already, you know.
Me gold and me silver.
Yes.
Psalm 87 verse 7. Read for yourself in the Holy Bible and see what I mean.
Now we play that one already. Rock the man.
Song entitled UTA, United Tribes of Africa.
Tribes of Africa, yeah. Oh, what a day when all the tribes unite as one, yeah. Oh, what?
Hold on. I feel like we should start the interview. And then we can play this and you can introduce this. How that sound? Yes, man.
United Tribes of Africa, you know.
People on the live, if you're listening, share, because we have a singer, a great singer in the building, legendary singer. He goes by the name of SIR Winston Francis.
Blessing, man, blessing. Yes, respect.
Yes, sir. You know, it's a pleasure to have you here.
Pleasure to be here, man. Love the vibes.
Yes. You know what I mean? We're going to start the interview, but normally we don't do this. But you see, that song there, what we just played, UTA, is United Tribes of Africa.
Yes.
Which is happening right now.
Right now.
When did you voice that song? When did you make that song?
I wrote that song 20 years ago because I saw
20 years.
vision. Yes, 20 years ago.
Okay.
And today it's happening because I always visioned that if Africa could unite, there will be no other country on the planet would be as powerful as Africa.
Very
because
true.
If a lot of people don't realize, but if you look at Africa, the size of Africa, if you put Russia, China, and the United States together, Africa bigger than all of them together.
Very true.
You understand?
Very true.
But a lot of people don't know. Them think Africa big like England.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
But Africa is the most powerful nation on earth. See? The most powerful nation on earth. Nothing can stop Africa. But because we are divided, we have no strength. But it's happening today, and I saw that 20 years ago when I wrote the song. UTA means United Tribes of Africa. Oh, what a day when all the tribes unite. Oh, what a day it's going to be when all the tribes decide and agree to elect one president to rule them all. Then never again will Africa fall. See
right.
that right now?
Let's listen to the tune. Let's listen to it. All right.
Welcome to Champion Sound, Love Bridge Sound. UTA means United Tribes of Africa, yeah. Oh, what a day when all the tribes.
This song was written 20 years ago. This song was written 20 years ago.
The day it's gonna be when all the tribes unite and to agree to elect just one president to rule them all. Then never again the giant could fall. UTA means United Tribes.
Back then it was like a vision.
Certainly was.
Oh, what a day when we get UTA.
Big up Young Gent Sound, you know. Big up. Big up Out and Bad.
Africa, the mother of civilization. Hey.
Big up Donna Curtis.
Africa, the mother
Wayne Alma.
of creation.
listening on WhatsApp, if you're listening on YouTube or TikTok, the number to call, the number to message, 07594 366 222.
Big up Rose 48, you know. DJ Lippy, big up, you know.
What a day.
622, big up, big up, big up.
What a day.
It's a big up Uncle Winston. Yes.
UTA means United Tribes of Africa, yeah. Oh, what a day when all the tribes unite as one.
What a day, what a day.
Oh, what a day it's gonna be when all the tribes decide and agree to elect just one president to rule them all.
Yeah.
Winston, I'd like you to introduce this one.
This one is called I Killed the Devil Last Night. Him dead. You can go straight now.
Tell us about this one, about the writing of this one.
Well, it's a long story, but I had a friend called Arthur. We used to call him Big Arthur. And he's a guy who had a nice car, nice house, nice family, and he started to take drugs. You know, and while I was working in Germany, I got a call. And one of my friends said to me, Ted said to me, boy, Arthur is in a bad way. You know, him eating out of the garbage can on the street. So boy, start a program so we can help him out. So we used to send money to him every month. I used to send £50, you know, every other week. So they could put it in a pot so he could pay him rent and buy food. And after 2 years, one day he called me. I was in Spain, and he called me and he said, boy, Winston, thanks very much, but I don't need help anymore because I killed the devil last night. And I said, you killed the devil last night? And he said, yeah. I said, what do you mean by that? He said, stop take coke, you know, because coke's the devil. And I wrote that song right away. I killed the devil last night.
You heard it from the man himself. Let's roll.
I killed the devil last night. I killed him with a wooden knife. I killed the devil last night because he wanted to take my life. Joe, 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 Joe. He totally influenced me because he knew I was drug free. Then he gave me sweet cocaine. He almost took away my brain. Then he made me into his slave. Wanted to send me to an early grave. But I knew my destiny, and I knew I had to break free. I killed the devil last night. I killed him with a wooden knife. I killed the devil last night because he wanted to take my life.
Welcome to champion sound, not big sound.
Can you tell us about this one, sir?
Why? This is an ugly story, you know.
I was told that you were feeling sad and lonely tonight.
Cheese!
But don't worry about a thing.
I think this is a story every man would like to repeat.
All right.
All right. Every man would like to call himself.
Dr. I've got the recipe. Call me Dr. Feelgood. I've got the recipe.
Big up A-Star on the live, you know. Big up, big up, big up, big up.
But don't worry about the thing. You
I said pick up Uncle Winston.
Yeah, we do. All right. Shooby-dooby-doo. Whoa, 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 whoa. No, no.
All right. So, like how we got you in the building, we're gonna talk about the history, because like how it's reggae. What is today's reggae? International reggae Day.
Wow,
you know what I mean?
Wow.
And we have an international reggae singer in the building. So tell us about some of those early days, early recording days in Studio One.
Hold on.
What year did you start recording?
Before you go there, we want the people to know which part of Jamaica where you was born.
I was born in Kingston.
Which part of Kingston?
I was born. A lot of people born in Line the hospital, but I was born at 100 King Street in Kingston.
Okay.
Where I could see the clock from where I was born. So I'm a true Kingstonian.
True Kingstonian. And what year was that?
1943.
Okay.
Which makes me 82 now.
Wow.
Give thanks enough. Give thanks. Yeah, you're mean, man.
It's a blessing to have you here right now. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So, what year did you start just singing? Where did the musical influence come from?
Well, you know, at that time when I was growing up in Jamaica, they didn't have anything like television. We had that radio. We had one radio station, which was Radio RJR.
Okay.
And you were linked to the radio station by a piece of wire. You know, there was no, you know, you could tune in and find it. We had a thing called rediffusion. So it was Radio Jamaica and the rediffusion, right? So the entertainment was nil. So any entertainment you wanted, you had to do it for yourself. You know, so we had a lot of competitions in the theaters. And you had a man named Veer Johns who used to put on a lot of shows and invite the youngsters to come and, you know, compete against each other. And you had guys like Alton Ellis, you know, myself, Jimmy Tucker, you know, Lassell Perkins, which is still alive and still singing.
Yo, you're naming some big names enough.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Continue. I'm sorry. I apologize.
So,
continue.
So at that time, you know, we all used to go to these theaters and compete, sing against each other.
So it was singing competition those days?
Yes.
And that was like a way of, as you said.
Well, the top prize was 10 shillings.
Okay.
But that was like somebody's salary.
Wow.
You know, that was your father's salary, 10 shillings. So when you go out and win 10 shillings, big money. You know, 10 shillings can buy, you know, 2 shirts and a pair of trousers. You know what I mean? So good money still. You know, and they at the end of the year you have the big competition, right? And at that time you win £10. Can you imagine?
£10.
Sure, you're sweet. But that was our entertainment.
Yeah.
You know, and you, like I said, I remember.
Was it jukebox settings then?
This was before jukebox.
Before jukebox.
Yeah, before jukebox.
So would you be like a teenager them time there? Like 16?
No, I was a youngster. I was like 10, 11.
Okay.
Then, you know, then everything like, no, I was talking to you a while ago and talking to you about a CD player. You said that is antique now. You know, this is how fast the music, you know, things are going.
Yes.
You know, so by the time I was 12, 14, you know, you had jukeboxes, you had cinemas, TV start come, you know, so everything was moving fast, you know. So, you know, I had a group called the Sherdans.
Yep.
And the Sherdans were doing a lot of competitions, you know, at the Carp Theatre and Regal. And I must tell you, one of the singers that came into the group, and we were the ones who taught him how to do harmonies and all that, was Pat Kelly. And it's on my new album. This photographs with the group, you know, the Sherdans is on my new album, you know, Winston. And you'll see Pat Kelly on there.
Yeah.
You know, so
Pat Kelly was one of your students?
Yes. Pat. As a matter of fact, when I took Pat into my group, the Sherdans, you know, he came to live in my house, you know, with my family, you know, and he lived there for 15 years.
Wow.
History. I tell you,
wow.
History, you know, history.
Yes.
History.
Yes, man.
So, you know, by that time, you know, while Pat was doing his thing, you know, I started recording for Mr. Dodd, Cox and Dodd, Studio One.
Yep.
And my first recording that I did, I can't even remember the lyrics, but when Mr. Dodd called me in, he called me in to do a track for him, because I was introduced to Studio One by a guy called Jackie Estick, who used to write all the liner notes on the Studio One albums. If you look at any old Studio One albums, at the writing in the back, you'll see Jackie Estick. He's now one of the top judges in Jamaica.
Wow.
Okay. So that's why I don't want to go back.
and sir, that would have been like the late 60s if I stand correct.
This was 68.
68, yeah.
When I recorded my first track for Mr. Dodd. And then I started writing songs, and I wrote a song called Mr. Fix It.
Okay, big tune.
Which was recorded by over 40 people. I heard you talking about Sugar Minot. Yeah. Sugar Minot did an album, and he sang Mr. Fix It and called the album Mr. Fix It.
Yes. And you was the original writer.
Yeah, I actually wrote the lyrics for that song.
So who done the backup vocals for you on that song, then, Mr. Fix It?
Well, there was a lot of backing vocal on it, but I did on the album Mr. Fix It.
Yes.
I did California Dreaming and To Experience.
Yes, To Experience. That's it.
Yes.
So Bob Marley.
It was Bob Marley and Ken Booth who did the backing vocals on it.
Wow.
Yeah, both tracks. If you play it and you listen to it, it sounded like some little girls, because the evening when we recorded it, when we went in to listen to the track, Mr. Dodd was playing it, and he said, "Jesus, boy, the girl them sound sweetie."
Oh, okay.
And Bob get vexed. Bob get vexed. I say, "Oh, Sir D, and me a call girls, sir." And he said, "No, I'm not talking about the girls singing the backing vocal."
He said, "Me a sing."
He said, "Me and Ken and Winston a sing the thing, sir." And he said, "Why?" He said, "I better fire the girl."
Okay, so give us like show us the atmosphere of the studio back then. What was it like? Just take us through it.
The studio One was the biggest university in the Caribbean.
In the Caribbean.
The biggest university. That's a recording studio. The Caribbean, because it's there that you learn everything. First time I get a dose. You know what a dose is?
Yeah.
You sure you know what a dose is?
No, you have to tell me. I don't know.
Tell the listeners. Tell the listeners.
A dose is gonorrhea. Okay. And when I get my first dose, I never know what it was.
I thought it was that, but I didn't want to do it.
When I reach the studio, you understand? When I reach the university, which was 13 Brentford Road, and I tell my friend them say, "You ever do us one? Just go around Old Street and get a joke." And everything will be okay. Brand spanking new. So that was a university. You learned
basically it taught you everything. Taught you life.
Everything. You learned life there. I learned when I went to live in the United States after I left Studio One. I learned, everybody tell me, the first thing you don't buy no pretty clothes, Winston, buy a house.
Okay, from
the
them
first
time
thing,
then.
Yeah, you learn the history from there, right? So when I came to Europe, the first thing in my head I wanted to do was to buy a house. And that song, Mr. Fix It, it was recorded by Freddie McGregor on his album Big Ship. Barry Salmon recorded it. Yellow Man recorded it. KOTG recorded Mr. Fix It. And all of these people that recorded, I never received one penny.
I was just about to say that,
Yes, never received a penny.
Because that's how it was back in those days.
1995.
I'm sure you have a case now, sir.
1995. A group named UB40 recorded it.
Yes.
And the first payment I got from UB40 was £27,000.
Wow.
Right? £27,000 I get from them.
Wow.
For recording Mr. Fix It. And I was living in a council house in Sudbury Hill, right? And when I get the money, my wife said to me, "Where you gonna do this money, love?" And I said, "Well, I was thinking about a BMW." She said, "BMW? You might go buy the house."
Yes.
That's where I bought my first house from UB40.
You're getting a lot of big ups. A lot of big ups on the live, Mikey Natch, Bingy, Trinity, they're all saying big up, Big up,
Yes, man.
Yes. So, I was never angry that I never get paid, from all that time
in Jamaica
for that track.
And for the
yeah,
track.
never bothered
But
me.
you got the big check.
Oh,
It
gosh,
finally
man,
the
you
big.
see,
What
time
year was
a
that
master.
UB40? What year was that UB40?
1996, 1995, 96.
So that was £27,000. So if we do the math now, that was like right now that would be like $100 grand in today's money.
Yeah, big money.
Am I wrong?
Yeah, big money.
Yeah.
About
big
50,
money.
60, 70.
But that's when we paid on our first house. You know, and that was a blessing. So every time I work, and I work in Europe, you know, every 2 weeks, you know, and every show that I do.
And that's bookings for shows, singing.
Yeah.
Okay.
The first time I went to Europe, I went to Czechoslovakia to do a reggae show. Well, I went to Czechoslovakia and I sang reggae, you know, for the audience there.
Hold on. You was one of the first reggae artists, one of the first,
yes,
to really get the shows in Europe, right?
Yes.
He was one of the
1973.
1973. You know? That was a long time. He was
whole heap of people born and dead since then.
Yes. So before Bob Marley traveled to the UK. Before Bob Marley traveled, you was traveling.
Yes.
Doing music.
I came in 1969.
Yes.
And then I came back in 1971. And when I came back because the song California Dreaming.
I was just about to ask you about the album there in California.
Tony Blackburn made that his hit pick of the week.
Yes.
And because there wasn't enough records going around.
Radio 1.
Yeah, it was Radio 1, yes.
Massive.
And when Tony Blackburn realized that the records weren't being sold, he made it his hit pick of the week twice. And it's the only time he's ever done that.
He never done it again.
He said that in his book. He said the only song that I've made hit pick of the week twice is Winston Francis, California Dreaming.
So you see, California Dreaming, was that recorded in America, Miami? At the time, was that recorded?
No, Studio One, man.
Jamaica.
It was Mr. Dad Vision.
Okay.
You know, Mr. Dad choose all the songs. You know, so Winston, I want you to sing this song. You know, I want you mashed up, and he gave me the track. You know, I was listening to Mamas and the Papas, and he gave me the track. You know, at that time it was the bass player was Leroy Sibbles. You know, the guitarist was Rickenbacker. You know, Jackie Mitu was on keyboard.
These are all big artists, you know.
Yeah, Ernest Ranglin guitar. You know, and we laid you know 4 tracks that day, and that was the Thursday, and the Saturday we went into the studio again with Mr. Sadad and Ernest Ranglin, and when I went into the studio, it was dark, and Jackie Mitchell was sleeping on top of the piano, the grand piano, because he was there all night. And instead of going home, just, holding some sleep. And when I went in and we started talking, he started playing a rhythm, a vibe.
Yes.
Yeah. And when he says, where you have Winston? And I started singing Let's Go to Zion. And that's when I recorded that track, Let's Go to Zion.
Okay.
So was it all one text in those days?
Yes,
with the band? Because I know everything was band. Everything was played by the band. So everything was just one text.
One text, yes. If you make a mistake, out the door, come back another day.
See the real artists. You see one text. Can imagine one.
Yes, it's got to be one take, because remember, it was only 2 tracks. So the band recorded the tracks. And then they bump you onto one of the tracks. So it's only 4 or 5 tracks. Yeah? So the engineer don't have no time because there's a queue outside.
Yeah. So the band on one track, the vocal on one track, the backing singers on one track.
No. The backing singers and the
vocal on the same track.
Time. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, man.
And if you make a mistake out the door, come back again another day.
No second try.
No, because you see the band is getting paid per track.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they don't have no time for waste.
Yeah.
So
tell us some of the names that was out of door. The time when you sang California Dreaming. Tell us about some of the names that was around the studio. As not people that was working on the track, other people that was like, as you said, artists that was waiting outside.
Everybody.
Heptones.
Heptones, I remember the first day I saw Dennis Brown come.
Okay.
As a youth.
Tell us about
it. He was just a kid, a young kid. Ken Booth was there, and everybody's hanging around, trying to get, in. I remember one day I was watching the great Roy Cousins, who I'm working with at the moment.
Yes.
He's a great producer. You know, he's on this new album, Winston. You know, and he asked if he could be, you know, auditioned. He did an audition, and they told him come back next week. You know, and he will tell you himself that when I went to do an audition, they didn't accept me. You know, they turned him away, so he had to come back another time. Okay. But all the greats were there. Black Uhuru, you know, all these guys used to come to the studio.
Wow.
You know, but when I came to the studio earlier today, we were talking about, one of the guys was saying he heard some bad things about Mr. Dodd. I said, there was nothing bad about Mr. Dodd, because a lot of people complained that they didn't get paid. But these same people are being paid today because he gave them royalties. A future. He gave them, you know, something they could work on today.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of the guys are really successful and really wealthy. You know, out of that.
Yep.
So I wouldn't bite the hand that feed me. You know, Mr. Dodd was a great man.
So would you say the royalties wasn't set up at the time, but then over the years, people that got to set up their stuff and it became paid. They got paid later on down via tours, via people wanting to hear the music. Is that what you would say?
Of course.
Yeah.
You know, I remember one day I was in Park Royal, and Alton was there, and he said, I just want 2 bullets. One shot Mr. Dodd in the head, and then one other shot myself. I said, so why you not kill yourself? I said, kill him, but don't kill yourself. And he said, why? Sure, you know, Winston. And I said, Alton, don't forget, you know. I said, most of us, youngsters, that recorded with Mr. Dodd, we had no education. That's why we went to recordings, right? I said, if it wasn't Mr. Dodd, you wouldn't be here in England
today. You're right. You're right.
Him follow him and him look for me and him walk inside and come a few minutes later him come back out and him say, you know, Winston, I'm going to stop talking them corporate, them bullying. Because it's the truth.
True.
If it wasn't Mr. Dodd, I wouldn't be here today. And I'm living a good life.
Legendaries.
Yeah. I'm living a good life. I'm earning good money. If it wasn't Mr. Dodd, you know, because he took a risk in recording us. It wasn't certain that the records he was recording would sell.
True.
And remember, it cost, you know, to make the recordings. And if he made 10 recordings, maybe 5 sell, 5 didn't sell. You know, so what he's going to do with that 5 didn't sell? You know, he lost, you know, out of that. So he did a fantastic job.
How did those records get to sell? Was it the radio? Was it the radio at the time?
No, it was a sound system, man.
Okay, the sound system. Streets.
Yeah.
Right. Tell us about it.
Because I used to like plenty girls, and most artists like plenty girls. Right. So your main mission is to get a hit song, because when you get a hit song and they start playing it in the dance, you make sure that you on a weekend, a Friday night or a Saturday night, you know, when a big dance are going, you know, you get your Old Spice and you shower yourself with Old Spice and nice, and you go to dance and you stand up inside the dance, and all the girl them that is coming in, you watch them, and the girl that you see and you want her to say, yes, it's my girl, like. And anytime them play your song, you just go across and tell her, says me that, you know. And it's your girl that.
See that?
You understand? So everybody wanted to record because they want the prettiest girls. And to get the prettiest girl, you had to have a hit song. See? So no, it wasn't a money thing.
Well, at the time.
No, it wasn't a money thing. It was a girl thing.
Yeah. So are you surprised? Are you surprised of where the music, how the music? Does it surprise you where you came from and where not just you, the songs from those eras where it went so big? Does it surprise you even sometimes?
Yeah. Of course. I mean, I get calls and I get jobs, and I'm in a place like Argentina. And I'm sitting in one of the biggest hotels, you know, and when all the waiters and waitresses and everybody crowd around me and the photographers, and I said to myself, boy, Winston, Low key.
So when you recorded those songs in 1969, the 70s, did you know that they were gonna see when you after the masterpiece? You never know.
No way. Man said it was girls. He was after.
You never know that. Did you?
I had no idea. No idea that these songs would become hits. I didn't think they would leave the shores of Jamaica.
You see how powerful reggae
That's
music.
What I'm saying.
Powerful rocksteady.
I would even say reggae music because at the time it wasn't reggae.
It was rocksteady.
Well, it's just Jamaican music.
It's reggae. It's Jamaican music. It's Jamaican music.
I don't see it as rocksteady and this and that.
Yeah.
I see it as Jamaican music, because Jamaicans, don't forget, our culture is of such that it's so diverse, this might start some controversy, but we're going to talk about it. Yeah, I was talking to some brethren one day, and these guys would start saying, why the Chinaman, them just come and mash up Jamaica? I said, why you always come and talk about? I said, one of the first big promoters and producers in Jamaica was a man named Leslie Kang. He was a Chinaman. So you cannot push the Chinese out of the equation. You understand? The white man that was in Jamaica, one of the greatest guitarists that played in Jamaica was a guy named Dennis Sindri, was a white Australian guy. Yes? Another great musician. A lot of the musicians didn't actually come from Jamaica. A lot of them come from Trinidad. Jackie Whipple come from Barbados. And one of the greatest reggae singers you have of all time is Jackie Whipple. Yeah, and he came from Barbados. You have Lord Creator. He was Trinidadian. Roland Alfonso was Panamanian. The leader of the Scatterlights was Panamanian also.
You're educating us,
definitely.
You're educating us.
So most of the musicians, them, the guy who actually started the Steppers beat, is a young Panamanian guy who started playing drums for Studio One, yeah, and it was Jamaican, but. If you tell him he's not Jamaican, he's vexed.
Yeah.
Because he talk Jamaican, he walk Jamaican, and he do Jamaican.
Okay, yeah, but it's still on.
It's still on Mixcloud, yeah.
It's still on Mixcloud.
Yeah, so, yeah, so, what you have to look at is that we as a people, we can't differentiate.
I said it to you.
And we can't say, this guy didn't contribute or that one didn't contribute. We all contributed.
Yeah.
So we all have something to be proud of.
Definitely. So do you have any, I know you said that you met Bob Marley as a youngster. Tell us a story or two about Bob Marley.
Well, I tell you, I've said this many times, that in the after Bob died, and everybody was trying to grab a piece of Bob, and get some of the money. I always said if Bob was alive, that would never happen because he would never mistreat none of the people that work for him because Bob was a man of God.
Okay.
Yes. Bob was a true Jamaican, who shared everything that he had. He wasn't selfish. Bob was a really, really honest guy. I remember when we used to be at the studio, if Bob come in and them have one spliff, it's share for 10 man.
Seriously?
Yeah,
see,
man.
this is
everybody
the history.
get a draw.
History.
Okay.
And most of the guys that were at Studio One were that way.
Yes.
Some man, if when we do a show, like on a Saturday night at Carib, 6 man good for don't have no shoes, only 1 man have shoes, and every show, every artist got one, you have to put on the shoes and go on.
Seriously?
Bar the shoes.
Wow.
You understand?
Well, that's a piece of history,
When you buy a buckle.
So what happens when some of the people was different sizes? How would that work?
Well, you kick down the back, man. And you shuffle slow. Yeah, you shuffle slow, you can't shuffle fast.
Yeah. Tell us about some of the cities your music has taken you. I know you mentioned Argentina. Well, Europe, Czechoslovakia. You went to Germany before the Berlin Wall.
Before the Berlin Wall came down, yes.
So you
in a place called Potsdam in East Germany.
East Germany.
Yeah.
What year was it? 73?
No, this was about 93, I think it was.
93. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
But it was before the Berlin Wall came down, because I remember I went into a record store in Berlin.
Yeah.
And when I went in, the guy who owned the store, he started following me around. And I was saying to myself, "What, them people are weirdy?"
Yeah.
You know, it must be no sell lot of black people. And you figure, if this black guy coming and going to try and steal something.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I walked towards the door, and he said, "Are you going?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "Could you do me a favor?" And I said, "You speak good English?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, what can I do for you?" He says, "Could you sign this album for me?" And he brought up Mr. Fix-It, the album.
Wow.
And I said, "Oh." I said, "Where did you get this?" He said, "I got it from the United States of New York."
Wow. Okay. So give us, you said you came here in 1969. Was that those are the Windrush years?
No. Windrush started years before.
Okay. So what was 1969 like when you came to the UK?
It was fantastic. I remember I went to work in a club in Wakefield.
Okay.
And when I went into a store to buy some toothpaste and you know toiletries.
Yeah.
Because I was staying in the hotel, and when I went in, there was nobody in the shop, and I picked up the things I wanted, and I said hello, and this lady answered from behind the counter, and she said, "Yes, love. What can I do for you?" And I said, "Well, I've got these items I'd like to pay for." She said, "Make your own change." And there was 2 baskets on the counter. Mm-hmm. And people came in, bought what they wanted to put in. If it's 3 shilling, then put in a 5, then take out 2. And
seriously?
And I was scared, because I figure, boy, being a black guy, she could want to trap me, you know, and say, boy, a thief or money or a thief or things.
Yeah.
So I was scared, you know. So I says, "No, could you come and do it for me?" And she says, "Where are you from, love? You're not from here, are you?" And I said, "No, ma'am, I'm from, Jamaica." She says, "Oh, we've got a few of those here, you know." And she was so nice. But that is how people used to behave at that time.
Wow.
Nobody stole anything.
Okay. So with the album Winston. Yeah, so when was this released?
This was released about 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago?
Yes.
So you're still in the work. You're still making music.
Yes, sir.
Is this like a collaboration of all your hits from over the years?
No. There's only there's 3 old hits on it, which is "Go Find Yourself a Fool," which I did in 1968. And when I recorded it, it was Bruce Ruffin who actually wrote the song and did the recording. And he came to my house on a Sunday and asked me if I could record a song for him. And I said, "I can't, because you have to wait until I come back, again, because I used to come every month or so." And he said, "No, Winston, I want you to do it now." And he said, "When you going back?" I said, "Well, I'm going to school. I'm flying back to Miami on Monday." And he said, "What time?" I said, 3 o'clock. He said, "We done record long before that, man. Can you come down to the studio?" And this is the first time I recorded in Duke Reed studio. The first and the only time I've ever been into Duke Reed studio. And I recorded "Go Find Yourself a Fool" for him.
Right.
But when I came here in 71, I went into a club in the West End. I think it was called the can't remember the name of the club, but it was in the West End on one of the popular clubs that was in the West End.
Yeah.
And Lloyd Coxon was playing in there. And when I went in, I was in there for about half an hour, and I heard him playing "Go Find Yourself a Fool." And he says, "Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is a brand new one by Winston Francis." And I said, "Oh, man." And I said to my brother, "I've never heard this. I recorded it, but I didn't really listen to the last bit."
Yeah. And then it got released.
And
so the one on the album, is that the original release?
The original
recording.
The original recording.
Okay.
So many people have asked me, you know, to re-record it. And I've re-recorded it twice. I recorded for an album I did with Roy Cousins called Just Once. And then I did it for Prince Fatty, which is a brilliant, you know, record producer. So I did it twice. But a lot of people asked me about the original. So I said, you know what? I'm going to put the original on this. And when it came out the first time, it didn't come out as Winston Francis. It came out as the Techniques.
Okay.
You know, but Coxon knew my voice. So he said, this is Lloyd Coxon from London. He said, this is a new track by Winston Francis.
Okay. So tell us about the rest of the tracks. You sung over some people's tracks. Some of the tracks you sung over, most of the tracks was written by you.
So, like 50-50.
50-50.
Yeah, half of the tracks were written by me, another half because the last track on the album is a song that every time that I worked, if Alton came to the show, he would come on stage and sing Murel with me. Or if I went to a show that he was doing, he'd ask me to come on stage and sing Murel with him. So it was one of my favorites. So it's on there, the last
paid homage.
But yes, which is Alton and myself singing Muriel.
Okay.
You know, I wanted to put Here I Come on it because I remember one day a girl that I know called me from New York and we were talking and she says, you know, Winston, I love your version of Mr. Fix-It, but there's a new version with Dennis Brown that sings Mr. Fix-It. And I said, Dennis Brown? And she said, yeah. I said, nah, man. And she said, yeah, it's on his album called At the Foot of the Mountain. And I got the album, and when I listened to it, I was shocked, you know, that Dennis recorded Mr. Fix-It. So whenever I do a show, I always include, I do Here I Come as a tribute to my friend Dennis.
Yeah, because he recorded.
Yes, Mr. Fix-It.
Mr. Fix-It, so you.
Yeah, I reciprocate. Yes.
Okay. Do we have the PA for Mr. Fix-It here? No, I didn't get the PA. Oh, we didn't get the PA because I'd love you to sing it live.
Direct.
Yeah. All right. Well, can we get acapella?
If you're feeling lonely because you're one and only, boy has found a girl and ran away. Just you reach for your phone, mobile. I'll be there at home. My name is Fix It. I'll be there. How about that?
Wicked. That song got millions and millions of views, millions of sales.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Millions of sales.
Sent you around the world.
Yes.
How many covers? Over 40 covers.
Close to 50.
Close to 50 of some of the biggest names in the game.
Barry Salmon recorded it.
Yes.
And Barry says, I've got a tune called, what's the name of the track? But he uses the introduction. So every time that track plays, I get paid.
Okay.
You know, and it's just the introduction. You know, the horns, but I get paid because I wrote the song.
Legends in the building right now, man. So this album, people, is 3 weeks old.
Yes.
Winston, it's the album entitled Winston. They can go out. Where can they find the album?
Any platform. It's on Amazon. It's the only reggae track at the moment, only reggae album at the moment in HMV on Oxford Street.
Wow!
If you're going to HMV,
you're passing any HMV. Is it only in Oxford Street or any HMV?
No, anyone. But he said only in Oxford Street. It's reggae.
Well, there's no other.
There's no other
in
London.
Right.
You're right.
But you know, in HMV in London, it's the only reggae album that is on sale.
Go and support Winston Francis.
Some lovely tracks on there, man.
Trust me, you deserve it. You put in the work over the years. You know what I mean? You really do deserve it, and it's on all the platforms.
Yes.
Streaming platforms.
Amazon. You can go there and purchase it.
That's what we like.
I went to honestly, I've got the things in my bag. I went to send a couple of the albums to relatives in the States, and to send 2 of the albums, it cost me £22. So I tell them, anybody else from the States, if you want the album, better you buy it on Amazon because it's cheaper. Yeah, to buy it.
Yeah, then
more than
sending
it to you.
Yes.
You know, so, you know, and you know, it's worth it.
Good luck.
It's got so much history on there.
Good luck with you. So for anybody listening that would like to get in contact with you, how would they find you?
Well, you know, I've got the easiest email address.
Right.
Believe me, no joke.
Right.
The easiest email address. It's me, at winstonfrancis.com.
me@winstonfrancis.com.
This is the easiest. Me at winstonfrancis.com.
I don't suppose you do social media. I don't suppose you're on.
I'm on every platform.
See it there.
Just put Winston Francis inside your phone.
All
Nothing
right.
else.
I'll be following you on Instagram.
Yeah, and it comes up.
Yeah.
It comes up.
Follow me back, yeah?
Yes, I will. Yeah.
Okay. And you know what? For any advice for any young artists coming up, what advice would you give the young artists coming up?
I tell them, learn the business before you do anything else. Because in the old days, every record company used to give you a contract, right? And when they give you a contract, it's got a word in it, 2 words, in perpetuity, right? That meant they own you for life. And everybody used to sign the contract. And anytime you want to leave, and you say, Mr. Palmer, I want to leave, I'm going to go with capital, you know. And say, you can't, unless you pay me, you know, £50,000. And he said, no, for what? And I say, you got a contract with me. I say, yeah, but a contract up long time. I say, no, look, in perpetuity, you're there for life. So learn the business.
Learn the business.
Yes. I remember quite a few years ago, I was coming out of my house. My son was leaving home, I think he was going to play football. And when he reached the door, he looked back at me and shook his head. And I said, why you shake your head? What happened? And he said, I feel sorry for you, Dad. I said, what do you mean you're sorry for me? Well, he said, Dad, you haven't gotten your full dues, you know, from all the way you put in. I said, you've been to high school. I said, you bringing all of you up. You know, you've never been hungry a day. You always have a roof over your head. What if you sorry for me for? He said, yeah, I'll tell you something, Dad. He said, from today, Sunday, I am going to be a manager. And from that day, everything has changed.
I love to hear that. That's good. You see it there?
Yeah, my son, at the time he became my manager, everything changed. And you can Google him. Have you heard of a young lady called Tassan Chin? She won the
Yes. Big singer.
Yeah, she won the Voice in America.
Yeah.
He's her producer.
Okay.
Huh?
Your
My
son?
son Lee Francis.
Okay.
He's her producer. You know, I was in Jamaica in February, and the minute she heard, you know, we were at the Pegasus, she came right over and gave him the biggest hug and biggest kisses. I was kind of scared because I didn't want her husband to say that. You know? Because, she really loved me. She loved the works he does. You know, he produced some really, really good tracks.
Trust me, it's been a privilege to have you here. It's been a privilege to reason with you on the Natural Street Show. You know what I mean?
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, man. And you know, we got a lot of sound systems on the live. So if we run 2 rhythm, we say you could have sing 2 songs for us to make them know what the dub plates would be like and everything.
Well, I stopped doing dubs, you know.
You don't do dubs anymore.
No.
Okay. Is there a reason?
No, I just I find it, you know, by the time I leave, I'm going to tell you one of the main reasons.
Yes, we're listening.
I do dubs with Sparky Melody, right? You know Sparky.
Yes, of course.
And every time I go to do a dub with him, I get a ticket.
I was expecting that one.
I was
expecting that, you know. Oh, Jesus.
And it's like that, no, my car.
Oh, Jesus. All right. Well, you're safe. Your car is safe outside here, sir. All right. Biggs, run the rhythm, man. Run a rhythm. You have a rhythm there? You know what I mean? Because we have the legendary singer, Winston Francis, in the building. Can sing something live for me?
I've got a rhythm if you want me to do something live.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
a CD?
Yeah.
All right, bring it, come, sir. Trust me. Yo. Trust me.
I ain't gonna lie. Historic interview. educated. I definitely got educated today, you know. And it's good to know about the past, like the 60s, knowing about a young D Brown and Alton Ellis, and you know, you gave us a lot of history, man.
Well, thanks.
And it's always good to hear. It's always good to be educated, you know. Cause you can never stop learning, you know.
No, you can't. You can't.
Definitely.
So, once again, it's been an honor and a privilege.
An honor and a privilege.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Ah, yeah. Here I come with love and not hatred. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow I all the days of my life. Envy no one, no wish to be with no evil man.
One more time.
Love and hate can never be friends. Oh no, 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 no. Oh no. Here I come with love and not hatred. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow I all the days of my life. Envy no one, no wish to be with no evil man. But there'll come a day when you'll be whipped by the Father's hand. Oh, 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 oh. My head is anointed and my cup, yeah man. Blessing Dennis Brown.
Yo, me not lie, you know. Hey, me not lie, you know. Big.
Thank you, man.
Trust me.
You
Legend.
have a number ready, money?
I think Johnny Dolly's on there.
Trust me, man. The people on the live, the people them on the live. Yo, trust me. People them on the live are saying, wow.
Hi, yeah. All right now. Lady, why do you holler when no one has seen your Johnny Dollar? I can't get no sleep from this noisy street. I've got to move. I've got to find me a quiet place. There's a man next door on the radio, and he plays it all through the night. There's a couple in the apartment above my head that do nothing but fuss and fight. I can't get no sleep in this noisy street. I've got to move. I've got to find me a quiet comeback.
Hey. What's the next one though? Tree. Yeah.
All right.
I know this is a favorite of a lot of the folks out there because every time I work, I've got to do this live. And it goes something like this.
I remember someone I could turn to when in need. I remember someone who was a friend, yes indeed. I remember someone, a darling, 10 times sweeter than you. I gave 10 times sweeter than you.
If you want to hear this one again, Come and see me live.
Hey.
Bless it.
So I tell you that was one of my grand's favorite songs.
I figured out.
Yeah, my grand every Sunday when she used to cook a them tune that she used to play.
Thank you, man.
That just brought back memories and a
bless up,
salute.
Man. Bless.
Salute.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
So people, you know where you heard the legendary singer SIR. Remember, when you see me, I have to call him SIR Winston Francis.
Definitely. Our pleasure. Respect.
Thank you. Thank you much.
Respect,
thank you.
man.
All right. Blessing.
All right, cool.
And I must mention Sparky Rugged. Bless up, Sparky. Thanks very much for the link.
Yes,
God bless.
Man. Definitely. God bless every time.
God bless. One like Sparky Rugged dinner.
Everybody up, yeah, give them an update. Everybody up, love you look, yeah, give them an update. What me do? Spend a couple dumb play, make the club shake. Living legend on the asphalt, know the must eat. Slim gala with the pussy, gala carry enough weight. Everybody up, give them an update. Enough shatters, fear or no, just wait.